Alright there guys, welcome back to another video. Back at it again at Danz. Obviously I'm going to be riding that for a while. So, because I had to bring the fat tire in. Oh, he knows the guy here, so that's why he's looking. We're coming over here. Okay, never mind. So, I had brought the fat tire in because of that creaking and whatever the fuck that noise was that so me and Dad brought it in because me and Dad took a ride, me and him on the fat tires. We went for a ride down in Barry's last night before we went by his buddy, which lives down over here on Mech. And when we were down in Barry's, we made it literally about a quarter mile before the wood bridge. We made it down just to the trail to take you to Dead Man's Cove. And then we turned around and headed back home. And then he said, well, I'll bring you in today after we go by Grandma's. I was like, oh, okay. So we ended up going by Grandma, and then we ended up going home, dropping Keegan off at home, and went to the bike shop. So, depending on if Dad takes the bike to work at all this week, by the time my bike is done, they're done with my bike. And depending on if Dad takes the bike to work at all this week, I might ask Mom to bring me, but Dad said he'd get it after work too, so because they wanted to send me back home with it today. I said no, I got other bikes that I can ride. This needs to get fixed like now, as soon as they can. Because they're like a week out or whatever, and because I got to see what I work on Thursday. So but I think I work, so yeah, I work 4 to close. Thank God I don't got to deal with the ice cream machine this week. So I'm off tomorrow and Monday, got to work Tuesday, 12 to 8, so I ain't going to be getting out. So I'm not getting out to vlog or ride or anything because, I got to be in for noon. And I'm going to want a game too, so sorry, I had to think something out. Think something through in my head. So, so Then I got to work Tuesday till 8, which I'm going to game way before I go into work. You know, I'll get up, take the dogs out, game until 11, get ready for work, take the dogs out before I leave, and then go to work, you know, so but I don't know, so then I'm off Wednesday, gonna ride all day Wednesday, then I have to go by grandma, and then all that, so. And then Thursday, Friday, I'll ride I'll try to ride every day this week except for Tuesday. I was supposed to have fucking Friday off too, but I bet you any money fucking Chris's dumbass cried to Autumn and said that I wasn't cover for him on Friday because I was going to tell him I had shit to do. You know, but now that lie ain't going to fucking work for 2 reasons. Well, yeah, for 2 reasons. Reason 1 is now that we're not talking outside of work, which I don't give a fuck. You know, because me and Callan, one of Dee Dee's grandkids, you know, I work with her step-grandson and grandson. So her grandson, Callan, me and him were picking on each other. When did I work last? Thursday? Yeah, it was Thursday. And then, or no, it was, might have been Wednesday, I don't remember, that I worked with him last. Yeah, it was Wednesday. Because I closed with Amber on Thursday. Last time I worked with Dee Dee and Callan, which was Wednesday. And I worked with Chris until 8. And me and Cal were, you know, me and Chris were just picking on each other, and then me and Callan were just getting rowdy with it. You know, we're pretty much picking on each other too, but we're just getting rowdy. Me and Callan were getting rowdier and rowdier, and Dee Dee knows I won't stop unless if I get yelled at. Callan won't stop. So then she calmed down. Dee Dee, stopped yelling at us and disappeared for a while, and she calmed down, and I just left her alone. Me and Cal, after she left, looked at each other and like, what the fuck? Me and him just fucking laughed about it. And we both know we were just fucking around. We weren't being mean. I told Dee Dee, I was, in front of Callan and Chris. I said, because Dee Dee yelled at us and said, it's already fucking bad enough that you don't like Chris. And then he just like, so that's why you unfriended me on fucking PlayStation. So it's, whatever. Dude's fucking annoying. He's talking shit about me and all that crap. So, so I'm talking shit about him back. I don't care. I got between all the YouTube channels, I have a pretty decent following on Facebook, or on YouTube, between all the channels. Not enough to get, no play buttons or nothing, which I'm okay with not getting. But, I'm okay with not getting the play buttons at all because, I only do YouTube as a hobby, so I don't expect to grow. I mean, yeah, I want the channels to grow, but, I'm okay if they don't. But, I want them to grow, and I do. But, if it takes me a million years to do it, then, I'm okay with it not happening with me, me in this lifetime. So,
Whose contact info are you looking for?
Fuck off, Siri. You know, so if I, you know, like I said, I want the shit, you know, the channels to grow, but, you know, and, you know, the vlog one's just sitting at, you know, I think it's like 37 subscribers, which I want you guys to please start sharing the channel and getting it going and getting it up. So then, which the riding channel is doing pretty good, which I want to make sure I got that off because I made the mistake of vlogging with it on yet. Which riding channel's blowing up decently. You know, it's not doing it real fast, but, you know, I don't expect it to. So then me and Dee Dee are, you know, fine. Then, you know, we're back on talking terms. We're laughing, joking around, whatever. And she called Amber and told her that, you know, she got fed up with me and Callan, which I don't blame her for getting pissed off at me and Callan. So, you know, I'm not gonna blame her for getting mad at us. So, and then after, you know, then the other one was, now he's not probably gonna be talking to me at all. Probably won't go past the house. Nothing. You know, it's already fucking bad enough. He's weird, which I'm weird too. So I'm not gonna dog him for that. And then, you know, so, but he was a really type of weird, so I know he's not going to joke around with me anymore, nothing. Which I didn't want to befriend him anyway because I don't talk to him outside of work. You know, so it's like, you're already setting off on the fucking wrong foot by wanting to be friends with me. When me and you don't hang out or talk outside of work, really. So, but anyway, guys, I'm going to end the video here and ride some more. So, and I'm going to head back or I'm going to head out to the dollar store and then head back, which I should have went to the dollar store before going to Quick Trips, so, but whatever. So, but anyway, guys, I'll see you guys in the next video.